Hello friends, welcome to Misty Moon Designs. I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd make another quick video before I go on vacation. It'll probably get published once I'm on vacation, but I thought I would film it before my departure. My goal is to provide content to you on a regular basis, and today I'm very excited because I'm going to be showing you the Bargain Bead Box for the month of February. We're going to take a quick glimpse and then we'll jump right into today's project. So hopefully my Bargain Bead Box peeps will be happy to see today's tutorial, and if you don't subscribe to Bargain Bead Box, that's okay too. Hopefully you'll walk away with some techniques and tips. I will leave a link to the Bargain Bead Box website in case you're interested, and I'll leave a coupon code as well down in the description section of this video for a small discount of your first subscription. As you can see, this beautiful bracelet features some very stunning quartz nuggets on one side and then a bunch of dangles on the other side, and they're all very whimsical and very mystical looking because of the colors. I'm going to show you how to string on the quartz nuggets. We'll be attaching some crimp tubes and crimp covers. And then on the other side for the dangles, I'll show you how to make wrap loops using ball head pins. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And here we have the Bargain Bead Box for the month of February 2025. And I'm seeing a lot of blue in this bag. That's why I have my blue flowers out. Of course, I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. It did come with a list of contents, and the name of this collection is Floral Fantasy. And there are 21 items. And it looks like the retail value is $87.29. So that's pretty impressive. But the nice thing about the Bargain Bead Box is that you get a 30% off coupon on their sister site, Beadbox Bargains. I've been there many times, and let me tell you, they have fantastic pricing, they really do. But anyway guys, I can't wait to see what's in this month's collection, and it's going to be a very quick peek. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Let me pull out the items. As you can see, each little bag is labeled very well, which I really like, and there's definitely a lot of blue there. Let me arrange everything on my table and we'll take a look at the whole collection. I don't know if I'll fit the whole thing in, but I'll do my best, so I'll be right back. Well, there were way too many things, so I thought I would separate the strands and show you. As you can see, there's quite a variety. I like the different finishes, and of course I like the different sizes as well. We have some crackle agate, we have some hematite, we have some lapis lazuli beads in a matte finish, and here we have some sparkly beads. We have bicones and triangle beads in a much smaller size, which I really appreciate. And a couple of these strands are pretty long. They're about 15 inches long, and the other ones are about 7 inches. Let me get some more beads. And here we have some more items. We have a couple of strands, and we have these loose items down here. I would say this box has quite a bit of purple as well as blue. Look at these beautiful nuggets. They're kind of big though. They're electroplated quartz nuggets. Some of them are larger than others. There's quite a bit of variation. And by the way, if you've been following my channel, you would have heard me talk about my neighbor blowing leaves all the time with his leaf blower. Well, guess what he's doing today? Today he's plowing his driveway with an electric snow plow. So it doesn't matter whether it's snowing, whether it's winter, summer, spring, or fall. He's always out there making noise, but that's okay. I'm getting kind of used to it. Hopefully it's not too disruptive for you. It sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm really not. I'm actually very surprised that he's so diligent about keeping his driveway clean. And I guess I'm grateful as well. But anyway, I just wanted to point out that if you hear some noise, that's what it is. But anyway, look at these beautiful faceted oval beads. They're in a peacock blue color, which I absolutely love. And they're pretty large as well. I don't want to get into sizes because this video would be too long, but I think you can see for yourself that they're pretty large. Here we have some tulip beads. We have this very interesting focal. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's a lampwork glass bead. That's very, very unusual. I like it. We have this beautiful pendant. It's a lapis lazuli faceted teardrop pendant, and it has a bail, as you can see. Let me look at it. It has this adornment on the front, which is very interesting looking. And if you wanted to, you could remove the bail. You don't have to use it. You can just use that loop, and that would be fine as well. Very interesting. Then we have these two teardrop faceted crystals in a gorgeous blue color. And we have some rhinestone flower drops as well in a Tanzanite color. I think this is a gorgeous palette, it really is. Let me get the rest of the items. Here are the rest of the items. As you can see, they're all metals. These are actually enameled butterfly charms. How cute are those? But anyway, we have some chain. We have a couple of pendants, some links. Those always come in handy. We have some other charms, bead caps, a toggle clasp, and these spacer beads. I like that they have this pendant and the links that coordinate. Let me show you. There are 2 holes, as you can see, one there and one there. I think these are laser cut. That's what they look like. They would definitely make perfect earrings. And of course you'd want to use them with this one because they coordinate. I do like this one though. It's very unique looking. Let's see the other side. It's different on the other side, as you can see, but it has those 2 loops, and you could place a bead in between those 2 loops. And these bead caps are darling. I can see putting a little bead inside, and they look like flower buds. I like these charms as well. They're little lotus flower charms. And look at this pretty toggle clasp. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is so beautiful. That's the bar portion, and that's the ring portion. And here we have a bunch of spacer beads. You can never have enough of those. Now the links on this chain are rather large, but they're perfect for charm bracelets, for example, or bracelets with a lot of dangles hanging from them. And that's what we're going to do today. And by the way, I do want to mention that the list of contents does tell you which items are lead-free, nickel-free, or cadmium-free, in parentheses. As you can see, this one has it right there. It also lists the retail value of each one, so that's good to know. But anyway, now that we've taken a quick look at the collection, let's go ahead and jump into today's project. Here are the materials for today's bracelet. As you can see, I've cut myself a piece of chain, and we're going to hang some dangles from those links. Now, since I didn't go with the sizes earlier, I'll go ahead and give you the sizes now, even though I'm going to leave a list of all the materials down below in the description section of this video. But anyway, this chain is called Figaro chain. As you can see, it has large links and small links. The large links measure 8 by 5 millimeters, and the small links measure 4 by 3.5 millimeters. We're going to use 2 of these beautiful bead caps. They measure 9 by 7.5 millimeters. We're also going to use 2 of the glass tulip beads. They measure 10 by 11 millimeters. And as you can see, the glass has 2 colors, violet and blue. We're also going to use 2 of the triangular beads. They're faceted, and they measure 6 by 4.5 millimeters, and the color is slate blue iris. And here I have 3 6mm lapis lazuli beads. They're matte and they're round, as you can see. I also have these beautiful quartz nuggets, which I fell in love with the minute I saw them. They're listed as electroplated mystic quartz nugget beads. They're dyed and the color is purple iris. And I really don't know what size they are because they vary, like I said earlier. But I tried choosing mostly the smaller ones. And here I have some flower spacer beads. They measure 7mm across. I also have one of the butterfly charms. I couldn't resist them. It measures 20mm across, and I think it's from the loop down. And of course, I couldn't resist this beautiful toggle clasp. And let me tell you guys, that's actually a very high-end toggle clasp because it's platinum plated. Platinum is considered a precious metal, and what's so nice about it is that it resists corrosion and tarnishing. So it's going to last quite a bit longer than other metals. Now, in addition to these items, we're going to use some beading wire. And I'm going to use this brand today. It's the Beadalon brand. It's 49 strand and it's 0.018 of an inch thick or 0.46 millimeters. And the color is bright brilliant, but as you can see, it's kind of a dark gray color. I'm also going to use some ball head pins to create the dangles. And here I have a bunch of them. And of course, I'll be using some crimp tubes, some crimp tube covers, wire guardians, and jump rings, but I'll bring those out later on. So let's start with a beading wire. Let me get some of these items out of the way for the time being. I'm going to cut myself a 7-inch length, even though this part's not going to be very long. It's only going to be about 3 inches long, but you need 2 extra inches at each end to create the crimping. It just makes it so much easier. So here's my 7-inch piece. And here I have 2 crimp tubes, 2 crimp tube covers, and 2 wire guardians. And have I mentioned how much I hate crimping? I really do. It's not my favorite thing, that's for sure. I'm sure I'm not alone. So let's go ahead and start by crimping off this end. I'm going to slide on a crimp tube, and now a crimp tube cover. I'm going to go in this end, and now I'm going to take the tail and go down this other end. Like this, and now through the crimp tube. Let me move it all up. So that's what we have. You do want to make sure that your beading wire isn't crossed inside that crimp tube. It's a little difficult to see because it's hidden in there, but if you hold your beading wire like this, it should help. Let me close these legs a little bit. Take out the slack. I'm going to place the tube inside the first notch of my pliers, which is the one that creates the U shape. And now I'm going to go ahead and squeeze. Turn it sideways. Place it inside the second notch from the front and squeeze. And that folds over the crimp tube. And I always use the tip to tighten it up a little bit. So that's what we have. And now I'm going to snip off the excess beading wire. So I'm using my flush cutters. And now I'm going to slide on one of these crimp covers. Like that. And these are actually corrugated crimp covers. I like using these because you don't see the seams as much once they're closed. I'm going to use these crimping pliers to close it. And you do want to do it gently because you definitely don't want to dent that metal. So now that's closed and you don't see the seam because of the corrugating. So that's a huge relief in my opinion. And now I'm going to slide on one of these metal beads. And I'm going to start by sliding on the smallest of the quartz nuggets. Like that. And now another metal bead. And the next one, let me see which one's smaller. I think this one is. Got to find the hole though. Here it is. Let's see how it looks. I think that looks okay. And now another flower bead, spacer bead, the next nugget, another spacer bead, and the next nugget. It's hard to see where the holes are. It really is. I think it's right here. Let's see how that sits. I'm not sure if I like that actually because it's covering out some of the spacer bead. Same thing with this one. So maybe I'll swap these out. These two. And I'll use these two instead. So let me try this again. I think that's better. What do you think, guys? Maybe the other way. I want this end near the end of the bracelet so that it gets wider as you go along. And now a flower bead. And the next quartz nugget. If I can find the hole. I'm telling you, it's really difficult to see where the holes are. I think it's right there. Let's see how that looks. That looks okay. And now the next flower bead. Let me just keep sliding the rest of these on. Okay, I'm done loading my beads, and you might have seen me unload and reload. That's because I was trying to distribute these quartz nuggets in a graduating way. In other words, I wanted the one by the toggle clasp to be smaller and this one to be bigger. And the length from the wire guardian to this bead is about 3 1/4 inches. And obviously you can't copy it exactly because the nuggets are all different sizes and you might want a longer bracelet. That's something you're going to have to decide on your own. Also keep in mind that the toggle clasp and the jump rings are going to add to the length. I would say probably about 1 inch or maybe 3/4 of an inch. But anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and crimp off this end And I do want to attach the chain. I'm going to actually attach it to the wire guardian. That way I don't have to use a jump ring. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to slide on this crimp tube first. And now the wire guardian. And now let me go through this end. Like this. And now the chain. I think I'm going to slide the large link into it. Like this. And now let me go ahead and go through the tube. And through this first bead, the spacer bead. Let me pull it down. And I wonder if I can go through this nugget as well. Let's see. I think I can. Let me pull it out. You want to definitely take out the slack, but you don't want it too tight. And you need some space for the crimp cover as well. I think that's good enough. So now I'm going to go ahead and crimp off the tube. Let me close these legs a little bit. Let me check one more time to make sure there aren't any spaces. Once again, I'm going to place the tube inside the first notch, like this. Make sure the wire guardian is not involved, and squeeze. Turn it sideways. Place it inside one of the first 3 notches. I usually use the middle notch. And again, you want to make sure that the wire guardian is not involved. And I'm going to squeeze and tighten it up. So this one's crimped off. Maybe snip off this excess beading wire. Slide on my crimp cover. I usually go from underneath, it's a little bit easier. Like that. And I'm going to go ahead and close it. So now my crimp cover is on. I think it's really, really cute. I like it. And now I'm just going to attach some dangles to the chain. Let me show you what I had in mind. I'm thinking about putting one of the 6mm rounds on this side of the link. And then one of these bead caps on that side. With a triangle bead inside of it. And then a tulip bead on this side. And then a round on that side, on the next link, the next large link. I'm only using the large links. One of these on this side. Some alternating sides. Of course, I'm going to use a triangle bead inside of it like that. And then a tulip bead over here. And I'm going to finish with one of these rounds. I don't really want it to be too full or too heavy, but you could certainly add more dangles if you wanted to. Whenever I've made these kinds of bracelets, I end up regretting putting too many dangles. But you could use something smaller. For example, you could use one of these spacer beads, like that, on either side of the links. Another one here, and here. And maybe here as well. What do you think, guys? Like I said, I'm doing this on the fly today. So I think what I'll do is attach everything except the flower beads, and then I'll decide. Let me lift up my bracelet. I'm going to start by sliding on this round bead, this lapis lazuli matte bead. Using round nose pliers, I'm going to grab the pin right above the bead bend it, move to this part of the pliers to create the loop, wrap the tail around the nose of the pliers, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back. I'm going to open up this loop and slide it onto this first link. Just like that. Using these crimping pliers, I'm going to grab the loop, and I like to use these crimping pliers because they have skinny tips and they grab really well. And now I'm going to use these needle nose pliers to create my wraps. Let me cut off the excess. Tuck in the little tail. So there's my first dangle. And because these links are twisted, they're going to flip around a little bit, but that's okay. Let me move this out of the way. So now my next dangle is going to be this one. So let me slide on a triangle bead first, and then this bead, like that. Isn't that precious? I love it. I'm going to grab the pin, just like that, bend it, switch to this part, wrap the tail around the nose, flip my pliers around, continue to wrap to the back. I'm going to open up the loop, pick up my bracelet, and slide it onto this link right here on this side. Just like that. Let me grab the loop with my pliers, grab the tail, and do a couple of wraps. Snip off the excess. And tuck in that tail. So this is what we have, and I absolutely love it. I think it's really cute. And I think I will add the flower spacer beads after all. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? That I'll have to remove them? That's one of the nice things about making your own jewelry. You can change your mind about your design at any point. So let me go ahead and slide on one of these flower beads onto my ball head pin like this. And if you'll notice, I've got the ball of the ball head pin in between these two petals because it's easier to do the wraps at this end. Because as you can see, it's coming out of one petal at the top. I hope that makes sense. So once again, I'm going to bend the pin, switch to this part, wrap the tail around the nose, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back, open up the loop, pick up my work, slide it onto this link on this side, like that, grab the loop, grab the tail, and do my wraps. Snip off the excess, tuck in the little sharp end, so that's what we have so far. So now the next bead's going to be a tulip bead on this side, like that, and then the flower bead on this side, on the opposite side. And I'll repeat the same pattern until I get to this link, and then I'll stop. So let me keep going off camera and I'll meet you back. Okay, I'm done hanging my dangles, as you can see. And I think what I'll do is add an extra link at the end, a large link without any dangles to make it easier to put on. I don't like fiddling with dangles when I'm trying to do up a toggle clasp. But anyway, this measures about 6 inches. So my bracelet will end up being a little bit longer than I want. It'll be closer to 7 inches, which is the average for most people. Now to add a link is very simple. I have a piece of chain here. And I'm simply going to open up one of these large links. These are not soldered links, so it's easy to do. Just like that. Let me remove the little one. And I'm simply going to slide it into this little one here and close it up. It is a bit tricky because the links are curved. There we go. So that should make it a little bit easier to put on. Now normally I put the ring portion where the dangles are and the bar portion at the other end. And I'm going to go ahead and use that jump ring. Let me see if I can open it. I think that's where the cut is. So the ring portion is going to go on this end and the bar portion is going to go on this end. I might as well attach it since I'm here. There we go. Close it up. I like to flatten my jump rings to make sure they're closed properly. So there's the bar portion. I have another jump ring here for the ring portion. Let me open it up. Slide it onto this large link and close it up. So now the ring portion is attached. Let's take a look at the length. It's about 7 inches. And now we just need to attach the charm. I have another jump ring here. I've already opened it up. And I think I'll attach it to the large link. Like this. And close it up. So now we have that beautiful butterfly charm. Let me arrange my dangles. Like I said, these links are curved and they will flip around. But I think you get the idea. So there's my beautiful Floral Fantasy bracelet with quartz nuggets for that mystical look. Let me put it on. It's easy to put on because of the toggle clasp. And here it is. I love that toggle clasp. And there are my quartz nuggets. And there are my dangles. And the beautiful butterfly charm. I think it's adorable. I hope you like it as well. And I hope you can make your own. It's definitely a fantasy bracelet and very whimsical with all these dangles. And I do want to put it on for you at the end of this video, so please stick around for that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.